Okay, Gecheva in the far court. Morelli in the near court. Off we go from Vegas. And well done by Giovanna Morelli.
So see, that's the spot I'm talking about there. So usually that would be a girl's backhand, but since that's her forehand and Christa kind of left it a little short, she's able to tee off that. So let's just kind of keep an eye on that. Oh, same thing.
Little inside out that time. Defending medalists here in Vegas, Kate Fahey, Brooke Buckner, and Catherine Parento, a bronze medal, 2024.
1-2.
And that's a put away. And the first point for Gecheva. Paris, when you're playing sort of an unknown, does that sometimes kind of keep you on notice? A little bit of fear factor there sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially early on when you've never played against an opponent, you kind of have to feel it out and see which side is maybe a little bit weaker than the other, and then kind of form a strategy from there.
Oh.
Little luck there off the net.
One. Line up.
So Paris, very competitive field it is here in Vegas. You're included, of course, in this field.
Absolutely, yeah. All the best players are here playing this week. We got Anna Lee in the draw. We have Kate's back.
1-1.
She just kind of got back from her wedding, and excited to see her back out here again. I think she missed the last 2 events, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Line out.
Oh, well done that time by Morelli.
See, that's what I'm talking about. When she's going there on that wing, that's her forehand, which is, I'm sure, her better shot. So she's going to have to recognize that and maybe take that to the backhand next time versus the forehand.
1-1. Line out.
Kind of interested to see that soft drop. That was such a deep ball, how Gecheva was able to get underneath that and kind of put that on her feet. I kind of would like to see her maybe go cross court on that to her backhand versus her forehand.
This is known to be sometimes a windy venue. Not the case here this morning, though.
The weather is absolutely perfect now. There's no wind. It's not too hot.
Line out.
And Paris, the lifetime ball translating to singles. How has it affected the game?
I think it's made the singles game especially a lot faster. The ball definitely bounces a little bit more than the Vulcan did.
1-1.
So especially here in singles, I feel like people that are really penetrating with their ground strokes and that are coming to the net are usually winning most of the points. And I feel like maybe it's slightly harder to pass this with this ball versus the Vulcan. So it's just changed the game, and serves and returns are also a lot more effective when you're hitting them, hitting your spots, but also hitting pace with this ball.
1-1. Point.
Seems like Morelli is kind of targeting Gecheva's forehand here early. She's gotten her like 3 or 4 times in that
2-1.
corner.
Point.
And that one carries a bit on Gecheva. So the early lead here for Giovanna Morelli, 3-1. Game 1.
3-1. Point.
And if you're the youngster here, Paris, with every point, the confidence continues to grow, doesn't it?
Absolutely, especially, I mean, she's up 4-1 right now. She's got herself in a good position, a good start here. Definitely gives her confidence going into the rest of the match.
4-1. Side out.
I like how Christa Gecheva on that one, she went a little bit more middle to her backhand, and then you saw the error into the net there.
Point. Two, 4.
That's Sales. So Gecheva has trimmed the lead to 1. Christa, former tennis player at University of Wyoming, also did some coaching. The Northern Arizona University Lumberjacks.
3-4.
Oh, well done.
That's a great shot there. When she moved in there, I actually liked the play from Christa Gecheva on that to kind of move forward and put a little bit of pressure on her. She hasn't really come forward that much early on here.
Point. Five, 3. Point. Can't appeal, but can challenge.
Yeah, that one just wide off the paddle of Morelli. Side out now to Gecheva.
I like that play by Morelli. You can kind of see she's trying to spread Gecheva a little bit there, but after that ball, I'd like to see her come to the net after that.
Side out.
Great shot there, close on the sideline. But I like how she followed that ball in there, Drew. See, so she put pressure on Gecheva there when she's closing in, and Christa has to hit a better pass because of it.
Side out.
Would you like to see her maybe inch up to that kitchen sometimes, kind of force the issue a little bit?
Morelli?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Morelli's hitting a really good ball from the
3-6.
baseline. I think if she can kind of get in on some of the ones and recognize the pace she's putting on the ball and put a little bit more pressure on Gecheva, I think that's going to be a winning play for her.
Sure. Here comes Gecheva saying, I can certainly do that.
I think Gecheva heard me on that one instead of Morelli.
4-6. Point.
I think Christa Gecheva here, she's kind of clawing her way back in here, but I think she's made a few more balls. She's put a few more balls in court. She's being a little bit more consistent. So I think that's really going to pay off for her in the long run if she can kind of just keep those deep in the corners and keep those balls in.
Trying to tie here.
Point.
And now we're tied at 6.
Six. Side out.
Also Paris. Obviously not a capacity crowd right now, first match of the morning when you come out and it's just you against that person on the other side of the net. Curious how that affects a match whenever you can basically hear a pin drop sometimes.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get going sometimes in these first round matches, that's for sure. I think when, especially these players that come out early on, you have to fire yourself up, you have to get yourself going. You can't rely on the crowd or outside elements to do that.
6-6.
So you really have to play from within and kind of focus on your side of the court.
Side out.
So that ball called out by Morelli.
Six. Side out.
That's what you don't want at 6-6 when you're trying to go up on your serve there.
6-6. Side out.
Little luck from the net. She's sorry, but she's not sorry.
Second time that's happened in favor of Morelli.
6-6. Side out.
Drew, I don't mind the slice there. I like that she's changing the pace on Christa, but I think on the next one that she gets, she should go a little bit harder of a pass, maybe
6-6.
into Christa's forehand over there versus kind of trying to drop it in the kitchen.
Oh,
Point.
like the variety that time from Gecheva.
And I like to see her come in behind that slice as well, because then Morelli has to create something on that passing shot when she's coming forward and putting pressure on her like that.
7-6. Side out.
Good idea that time by Morelli.
Six, 7. Point.
Have you had a chance to face either of these ladies in the past?
I don't think I've ever played Morelli before, but I've played
7-7.
Gecheva in singles. It's been a long time since I've played her. I think it's been probably over a year and a half since I've played her in singles, so it's been a
Side
little
up.
bit. It's crazy to see too, Drew, just how the players improve in pickleball
Oh,
even
yeah.
over 2 to 3 months. I mean, you can really just see improvement versus
7-7.
back when I played tennis, the improvement was more like 6 months to a year, but pickleball seems to be much shorter periods of times that players are just getting better and better.
Point. Timeout receiver. 8-7.
So here's Gecheva to serve. Now, turning your back to your opponent like that, and she had her back turned basically during the entire break. Curious after this point, Paris. A little strategy, perhaps? A little gamesmanship?
I think maybe it's a bit of a reset as well from Gecheva's side. I think when you take your time and you kind of center yourself and then come back, it's more mental than it is maybe playing games against your opponent, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So I think it's really more for Gecheva's side versus the other side.
Just missed on the serve, so.
Yeah, when you're down 7-9 here, you gotta make that serve. You gotta get the ball in. You gotta start the point, and then from there you build it.
9-7. Point.
I would like to see Morelli run around some of her backhands and kind of hit that forehand. I think once she does that as well, she'll open up the court and give herself a little bit more room to play with on the angles against Gecheva.
Game point now for Gecheva. And this one sails. Christa Gecheva trailed for most of that game number one, but here for the day.
Happy to be here, Drew. All right, let's see how Morelli can bounce back here early on if she can get a good start in game 2.
So that one just a little bit wide. Paris coming off a trip to Atlanta, just took part in that Lifetime singles event. You finished second in that event. Leah Jansen taking the title, but you guys put on an awesome show.
I did, yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see a singles-only tournament, especially for, you know, a lot of the players in singles don't really, sometimes when you come in, it's harder to get a better doubles partner, so it's easier to make waves in singles. So to see a tournament specific to that was really fun to be a part of, and I hope they throw many more in the future.
Gecheva, well done, goes cross court.
I like how now she's coming in the net. I feel like early on in game 1, Gecheva was kind of staying back. Now she's starting to move forward, put a little bit more pressure on Morelli here, and let's see if she will sustain that here in game 2.
Oh, nice put away by Giovanna Morelli.
That's a great play by Morelli there. Like I said, coming in, putting pressure on her. I think any of these ladies, whoever can kind of get to the net first and hit a good ground stroke and come in behind it is going to be winning most of these points.
Once again, she has the angle and she has the side out. So, of course, best 2 of 3 or first to win 2 here. But in Atlanta, it was first to win 3, a little extra mileage on the legs, Paris.
Yeah, it's a little bit different mentality going into a 3 out of 5 versus a 2 out of 3, that's for sure.
Man.
You're going to have to sustain your level a little bit longer. It was kind of interesting to see the dynamic of that. There was a little bit more ebbs and flows of the match versus when you play 2 out of 3, you can kind of sustain that level a little bit easier versus 3 out of 5 is you really have to stay focused a lot longer. And I even found myself and players missing some serves and returns that we don't usually miss just because we're like, what are we doing still out here?
Wow.
Point.
So first point on the board here in game 2 for Morelli.
1-0. Side out.
Talk about stamina, Paris. She also had the ankle injury in Virginia Beach.
0-1.
Curious. We'll wait till this point concludes. Tell us how that ankle is. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Side out.
Thank you for asking, Drew. Yeah, my ankle is definitely doing a lot better. I mean, especially to have to go through the 3 out of 5 this weekend. I was definitely testing it out. I spent some time with my trainer in the days off after Virginia, and we're doing some rehab and some bands and recovery. So I felt like that really helped me get back a lot quicker versus kind of sitting and not doing anything on it. So I feel like especially with the ankle, that movement and starting to get some blood flow in there right away is kind of the key to recover that.
Gecheva searching for her first point here in game 2.
Point.
I love the change of pace down the middle from Gecheva there, especially when you're playing singles and you're hitting the ball in the middle. I feel like a lot of people always want to move the ball around, but sometimes if you go in the middle, you throw your opponent off because they're expecting to be moving, and then they're kind of flat-footed and stuck there in the middle. Oh, that's a great pass.
Wow.
See, that's what I'm talking about there, Drew, that forehand there. Usually that goes into a girl's backhand, so she's not really expecting that. And I think for Gecheva as well, she doesn't know where she's going to go with it because I think she realized, oh, shoot, I hit it to her forehand and I'm used to a backhand.
Side out.
That's a great approach there, deep off the line back there. That's a great spot for Christa on that one.
1-1.
Oh,
Oh, that's a great
Point.
get. Great point by both players. I really like how Morelli actually came in and approached that middle because it set up the next one. Her volley then was to Gecheva's backhand wing. So Gecheva came up with a really good pass, but Morelli put the pressure on her in order to do that. So I like that play from Morelli.
2-1.
2-1 now, favor of Gecheva. Game 2.
Side up.
And that one completely got away from her.
1-2. Side up. 2-1.
And one back for Gecheva. Morelli got the benefit of 2 of those in game 1.
Gecheva definitely wants to get a few of those here after the first game. Morelli kind of got
3-1.
lucky on a few of those.
Side up.
Deep that time off the paddle of Gecheva.
I'd like to see Gecheva take that ball cross court
1-3.
into Morelli's backhand and approach that way versus a slice to her forehand right in the middle.
Side up.
Do you have issues with the slice, or you handle it pretty well?
I think for me personally, I actually really
3-1.
like playing against people that slice because
Okay.
the ball sits a little bit and I'm able to create a little bit more rotation on the ball versus when it's topspin, you have to create your own. But if it's slice, it's a little bit easier to kind of create that.
Oh,
Oh, that's a great point there.
Side up.
I do think in the women's game in general, though, it is good to throw in some slices and to mix up the pace because in women's pickleball especially, there's so much of the same pace for every single ground stroke. So
1-3.
when you kind of throw in some different looks to your opponent, they can miss a few.
oh, just a
Side up.
dime right there from Gecheva. Giovanna Morelli had some nice shots here in game 2, but just can't sustain momentum.
Three one. Side up.
That's a great spot for Morelli there, that deep down the middle. In singles, like I was saying before, that's such an overrated shot. I think being able to mix that up, especially within the course of
1-3.
these long singles matches, is a great play.
Point.
So maybe this gets Morelli going here.
Let's see if she can get a little momentum going here.
Yep. Just takes that one shot sometimes, that 1 point, just lights that
2-3.
fire.
Absolutely. That's all it takes sometimes is 1 point.
Point.
And now tied at 3.
3-3.
That return is long.
There's a little momentum here. Got a few points in a row. Let's see where she places
4-3.
this serve.
Side up.
Situations like that, Paris, you smell a little bit of blood in the water. Do you up the tempo a little bit? Do you?
If I'm
3-4.
Gecheva,
Yeah, or Morelli.
If I'm Morelli.
Sense your opponent kind of reeling just a little bit.
yeah, I think especially when you're down 1 game and you know that the person has all the pressure on them to close it out, you kind of can play a little bit more freely and kind of swing a little bit more versus if you're up a game. So I'd like to see Morelli kind of go for her shots a little more, and maybe we'll see Gecheva kind of get a little bit tight because
4-4.
she's maybe thinking about the score a little bit.
Well played that time by
Timeout.
Giovanna Morelli.
That's a great I mean, that's an amazing constructed point from her there. You see her come in and she changes the speed of that volley and she drops it short in the kitchen. I love to see that in the women's game, especially when you bring women up. It just changes the pace of everything.
4-4. Point. Five, 4. Side out.
Drew, I think on that one there, you just see a little bit of lack of footwork from Morelli there. I think if she took
4-5.
one more step and she got on the outside of that ball and pulled that cross court, I think she would have stayed in the point there a little longer and made Christa play one extra ball.
Point.
And into the net that time by Morelli. Tied once again.
That point, I think, was the same as before, right? I think she's kind of reaching for the ball
5-5.
versus getting her feet there and kind of taking a little bit bigger of a swing on that and getting behind it.
Point.
Pairs you still love singles a little more than doubles, or I know now your double success that you've had this year is probably even. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
You know, to be honest, I've
6-5.
actually always loved doubles more than singles.
Really?
And I think after Atlanta, the 3 out of 5, it's going to put me in singles retirement. I think I'm good with singles for a while.
Oh,
I love that drop shot there. Especially, I mean, Christa hit a pretty good pass on that one, and Morelli really got her feet behind it and was able to go short cross there on the backhand wing. I'd like to see her do more of that when she's getting pulled into the net and really put Christa on her heels there, because she doesn't know if the ball's going to be deep or short, and she kind of has to guess on that one.
5-6. Point.
so many ties and lead changes here. This game 2. Morelli needs it here to stay alive.
6-6. Side up. Side out. Six.
Oh.
Side out.
So that's the ball with Morelli that I'm talking about. Christa's hitting that slice there. It's a little bit short. Morelli needs to really stay down with her legs, follow through over her shoulder, and just get in on that, because then she's going to put
6-6.
pressure on Christa Gecheva coming to the net off that one.
Side up.
A little extra concentration here from
6-6.
Giovanna Morelli. And that floats just a bit. Another lead for the 41 seed.
When you're Gecheva in this situation and you're up a game and it's 6-all, it's crucial that you make those returns, especially when the points are this
7-6.
close and you're tied with your opponent.
Side out. Six, 7. Point.
And tied once again.
7-7. Point.
Morelli is really, when Gecheva's going to her forehand side, she's almost going line, I feel like, in this game. 8 out of 10 times, and I would like to see her take that forehand back cross court to Gecheva's backhand and try and open up the court.
Oh, great opportunity for Christa Gecheva, and just drops one right into the kitchen. Ungettable.
That's a great play for Gecheva there, especially she's moving forward on that ball and she's dropping it low. So
of 32, Giovanna Morelli. Let's see if she can offer some resistance here. Not the way you want to come out of a timeout.
No, I mean, especially after that one, you definitely want to make that serve there and just make her play and really get into the point. And, you know, sometimes, Drew, even on the passes, when you kind of go at your opponent, especially in women's, they're covering either side. So sometimes the body it's on the passes is a really good play.
I think a point here by Morelli would really put pressure on Gecheva. Oh,
barely missed that one.
Nine-eight. Line up.
Morelli was brave on that one. She came in, especially when the scoring is this close. It can be a little bit harder to come in on those bigger moments. So I like to see that she's trying to stay aggressive here.
Point.
So will we get a challenge here? I don't believe so. And now the door is open here for Morelli.
9-9. Side up.
That was a great play, how she took that slice into her backhand there. It was kind of more towards the middle of the court, so it doesn't give Morelli many angles on that one to be able to pass. So the pass is probably going to come kind of a little higher up so that Gecheva was able to put that volley away if Morelli did make that passing shot.
Oh, maybe her best shot of the match.
And I like how she took that behind Gecheva on that one. Usually when Gecheva's been coming up to the net, she's been trying to pass Gecheva line, and I like how she went cross there and she took a little bit of pace off.
9-9.
This one's going to sail, and now Morelli a point away from forcing a game 3.
Morelli's got to go for her serve here. Get a first ball and then go behind Gecheva on the next one.
That goes wide.
Side up. Nine-10. Point.
You see the same thing there. She is slicing, she's coming in, she's taking pace off, and she's going more towards the middle, and Morelli is choosing to hit a backhand. I would like to see Morelli run around that and hit a forehand and try and hit a dipping pass versus trying to go full speed on the pass on that. Sometimes in singles, those 50 or 60% passes are better than the 100% speed. Wow, that was a great slice. Rarely ever do you see a slice winner there, just a clean winner, so that was a tough one there. That was like a hybrid of a slice and a drop shot almost.
And now it sets up match point here for Christa Gecheva.
11-10.
Has not been a runaway. We're in the round of 64, but can she move on?
Side up.
Morelli will stay alive.
Gecheva had a chance to come into the net early on in that point. I think when you're in those positions and you have match point or it's super close, if you can continue to be
10-11.
aggressive and move forward, even when the scoring is tight, it's going to benefit you in the long run.
Side up.
Meanwhile, when you're a young player and you have opportunities, Paris, you have got to take advantage of them.
Absolutely, and I think too, with
Number
Morelli,
10.
I hope she looks back on this match and she can kind of watch how she played in the big points. When you're coming up and you're playing and you're young, and watching yourself back is usually a really good way just to learn from mistakes and to continue to get
Point
better.
game match.
So there it is for Christa Gecheva. Just talk about coming out here, playing the first match of the day, the challenges ahead, the week ahead here in Vegas, and how excited you are to be here.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be in Vegas. I love Vegas, especially this time of year. It's perfect weather. And as for being on center, first match on, I don't usually play singles on center. So I was surprised to see the draw there. And I was at dinner with Megan Dazan last night. I saw it and I was like, okay, I'm on center, first on. Better get my mind right. So we had a little pep talk there and thought about playing on center. And it was a great experience, big court. Obviously big stadium, so really happy to be here and happy to get my first win on center.
Hey Christa, Paris Todd here, congratulations. My question was, how do you manage the nerves playing a girl that's young? She's 19 years old, she's coming out here, she kind of has nothing to lose.
Yeah, I don't know how well I handled the nerves actually. I started slicing quite a bit and I noticed that she wasn't handling my slice, and so I just kept doing that, but I don't like to slice that often just because it's not, you don't loosen up as much, and so I kind of felt that working against me at times. I think towards the end of the match there, I felt it like building up. The more I was slicing, the less like I could hit through my strokes. So there's a pro and a con to my slice. It's really effective, and especially against the girls, they really struggle to get it back. Was super successful today, but I actually don't like myself hitting it as often as I do.
So, Christa, love watching you play. I had a chance to commentate with you in Sacramento. Also, MLP, we've seen you in MLP now. Just give us kind of a career update where you think your game's at and where do you want to go with it going into 2026?
Yeah, pickleball has been such a journey for me. It started off as rec play, just like everyone else, and then you kind of feel the fire and the adrenaline of competing again. So, super glad that I still get to do this. And as for MLP, I love being on a team, love interacting with everyone and like bringing the energy as a team. That's definitely like my favorite part, which is why I love doubles so much more than singles as well. It's just more fun when you do things as a group with friends, with people around you. So definitely love MLP, and going into 2026, my hopes are to do better for my team and hopefully get us a win at the challenger level. Obviously, there's going to be redrafts and everything like that, so who knows what happens. But I'm super excited to try to get some more wins for a team.
Well, great watching you play, Christa. Best of luck in the round of 32 and beyond.
Thank you.